Okay, so my name is Paul Robinson. I'm a cardiovascular doctor who works for MSD, and my role now is to make the company more patient-focused, to actually talk to, and probably more importantly, to listen to patients, to help us develop medicines better. We are part of the PFMD group. It's really a cross-industry and cross-functional group that's going to try to bring the industry into a journey. We started off developing medicines in a fairly paternalistic way. We knew best. And I think we're now moving into an era where patients are telling us what they want, and we need to start to react to that. And then the final endpoint, I think, is co-developing and co-creating medicines for patients. Current situation is still a fairly traditional one in most companies, certainly in my own company. So we learn something new from science, either the genetic information comes out or we learn more about cancer. We see a scientific opportunity and we go for it. But we're developing medicines for conditions that we can. We understand the biology. We're not thinking about the patient need, and we're not thinking about the subtleties of different patients' needs. I think the way it will evolve is that we will look at individual patients, we'll look at what they need, we'll start to develop drugs for those subtleties. I think it's a trade-off between efficacy and safety, and we've made that trade-off in the past for them. But I think in the future the patients will want to make that trade-off themselves. It's difficult to explain what their priorities, what patients' priorities are, because I think each patient has a different priority. And that's the bit that we've been missing. We've been designing things for the average patient. So you have some patients for whom the best efficacy is the be-all and end-all. That's what they want, and they're prepared to put up with a lot of side effects to get that. You have other patients, either they're elderly or they've got family commitments, who will accept a different level of efficacy, but they're not prepared to accept side effects. They want a better tolerated drug or a less frequent drug. So I think we have to stop thinking about the average patient and start weighing up the pros and cons and working with patients to work out what they value. What's missing at the moment, I think, is just listening to patients. We've spent a lot of time talking to doctors. We've spent some time talking to patients. We've spent relatively little time listening to patients, and I think even less time allowing patients to influence our decisions. As a doctor who's come into the pharmaceutical industry, I want us to develop good medicines. I want my colleagues who are prescribing to be able to prescribe something that patients appreciate. So my personal wish is still very much as a physician that we need to give doctors tools that answer the needs of the patients, and we can do better than we're doing at the moment. Yeah, the nice thing about this group is that it's pre-competitive. So we're all in there, we're all trying to come up with a solution that will make industry fit for the next 50 to 100 years, I guess. Science is running faster and faster, innovation is running faster and faster, society has more demands. So the nice thing about this group is that we're all sharing our successes, we're sharing our failures, and we will move the whole of the drug development process, the whole of industry, forward as a result of our efforts. We've got patients around the table, we've got academics around the table, we've got drug companies around the table. It's everyone's sharing the same objective. When I was a little boy growing up, if I went to the doctor, I was given a bottle of medicine, and it just said the medicine on the label, or the tablets. It wasn't even considered necessary for the patient to know the name of the medicine they were taking. They just did as they were told. So we've come part of the way through the journey where patients are much more partners, and they are given some choices about the medicines that are available, and maybe they and their doctor make the choice together. This for me is an evolution of that, where actually patients start to say, these are the things I'd like you to develop for me and for people like me in the future. So where I see where we've come from, we've come a long way from that very paternalistic doctor knows best. And this for me is just the next step in producing something that patients really value. So it's not all bad. We've made a lot of progress, we've just got a little bit further to go.